Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Today's show, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Savvy fans, secure their internet. Join them at expressvpn.com/unleashed. I am Pat Gray, although some people call me the space cowboy. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice, which is kind of weird.
That is weird. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's completely different.
How did that
Space
start?
cowboy and gangster of love. I don't know. I just know I speak of the pompous of love.
Oh.
That's what I'm here to do today.
Well, that explains it all.
Speak of the pompous of love. Mm-hmm. Some tweets that came in after the show yesterday. Let's see. Barnyard 1978 tweets. Everyone forgets the largest death count in 1 year from coronavirus. Less than a dozen people actually survived. Noah and his family were smart. They all self-quarantined.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
They sure did.
And we think Jeffy was hanging out with him at the time. So we'll hear from him in about half an hour. Things are getting a little, I think, a little iffy around the Fisher household. The quarantine is wearing thin on some people, and one of them is Jeffy's wife, Amber.
See, we said this is going to happen.
Something's going to break.
She's going to, yeah, so poor Amber having to deal with Jeffy, not only in life, but every moment of life.
I mean, look at this. Here she's
pleading to us.
Really ready for him to leave the house.
I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find.
Why is he singing this?
That I've found ever since you've been around. You love with me.
She's gonna cry.
The top of the world.
Make him stop, please.
I wish we could. I really do. I wish we could. But
I think that song played on the Ricky Gervais Netflix show, and so it got into Jeffy's head that way.
What a horrible song to have in your head.
I know.
So thank you for that, Jeffy. Appreciate that. It's going to be in my head all day long now. Let's see. Yesterday we discussed how doctors and hospitals get more cash for COVID patients, in some cases up to 3 or 4 or 5 times the cash that they would get otherwise. And Just Too Muck and Fudge tweets, how is misclassifying patients as COVID patients not a violation of Medicare's fraud, waste, and abuse statutes? I really don't know. Interesting question, though. Who knows the answer to any of these COVID questions? It's nuts. From Arizona native, video interview with Dan Erickson and Dr. Artin Masihi. It's taken down from YouTube. Yeah, we're going to get into that later on. We showed on Monday's show, I think it was, we showed those 2 doctors from California they've tested over 5,000 patients. And they said that we're doing a huge disservice by doing this quarantine and staying away from each other when we should be developing herd immunity.
Yeah, apparently that video has been taken down.
Taken down!
All over the place. Every time it's put up, it's taken down. So,
unbelievable.
A fun fact, I don't know if it's written on that sheet there that you just set aside, but if you go to Monday's episode of Pat Gray Unleashed, you can find it. And I think it's a 38:40 mark, somewhere in there. So if you need to find it, it's still part of Monday's program through the Blaze TV app, or it's even...
We probably have it.
Don't tell YouTube, but it's actually on that show on YouTube.
Oh, my.
38-minute mark somewhere in there on Monday.
Maybe we should dig that up and play it again because...
We have it ready. Rob's already got it ready, if you'd like it.
All right, so if you don't know the video that we're referring to, here's a little look at it.
I say, do we need to still shelter in place? Our answer is emphatically no. Do we need businesses to be shut down? Emphatically no. Do we need to test them? and get them back to work? Yes, we do.
Doctors Dan Erickson and Artin Masihi, both co-owners of the 5 accelerated urgent care facilities in Kern County, say they have tested 5,213 patients within the county for the coronavirus. That makes up for over half of all testing done here. They say their data and research qualifies their statement.
Is the flu less dangerous than COVID? Let's look at the death rates. No, it's not. They're similar in prevalence and in death rate. So we are saying that our response now that we know the facts, it's time to get back to work.
The White House Coronavirus Task Force expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says otherwise, with national research showing COVID-19 cases to be over 10 times as lethal than the flu. But Fauci's decades of experience as an immunologist and physician holds no weight in the eyes of Erickson and Masihi.
We're actually seeing the patients. Dr. Fauci hasn't seen a patient for 20 years.
White House health officials have reported more than 800,000 COVID-19 cases with just over 46,000 deaths across the nation. But Erickson says that quarantining is a health hazard in and of itself.
We understand microbiology, we understand immunology, and we want strong immune systems. I don't want to hide in my home, develop a weak immune system, and then come out and get disease.
Reporting the disease, Erickson claims, is being forced onto healthcare professionals.
ER doctors now, my friends that I talk to say, it's interesting, when I'm writing up my death report, I'm being pressured to add COVID. Why is that?
Right.
Why are we being pressured to add COVID? To maybe increase the numbers and make it look a little bit worse than it is? I think so.
According to Erickson, there is something much larger at play here.
This is not about science, and it's not even about COVID. When they use the word safe, if you listen to the word safe, that's about controlling you. So when I talk to all my ER doctors who work in a hospital, no stake in the game, same opinion.
So YouTube takes that down. Why would you do that? Why? If you're YouTube, if you're a service that allows people to put all kinds of content on your site, why would you take that down?
Well,
those are 2 doctors.
Falls under the umbrella of their very generic, doesn't live up to our community standards clause.
In what way?
Exactly.
In what way does that not live up to community standards? You allow all the horrifying information to be placed on YouTube, all the horrifying we're about to die stuff from the COVID-19 epidemic. Why wouldn't you allow these 2 doctors? Why can't we see both sides of an issue and then go from there?
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, this is also now available at the 4:30 mark of today, April 29th, Pat Gray Unleashed show, if you'd like to find that later.
It's un-American. It's unbelievable, and it's un-American. And it's despicable of YouTube. 888-900-3393. From Equus Limits 10, the new commie buzz phrase. We're all in this together.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Yeah.
Yep. And any contrasting point of view is just removed, as we just saw. Nana Pat had tweets. What's worse about Nancy Pelosi's inability to name the governor of her own state? We have that from the other day.
Yeah.
Just in case you missed it, here's what happened there with old Nance.
Poor Nancy. Poor Nancy.
My own governor, Gavin Newsom has been so spectacular.
Wow. I think let it go up till she finally names him. Let's see that again. I didn't. My own governor.
My own governor. Gavin Newsom has been so.
There we go. Okay.
You got there.
Okay, so apparently Gavin Newsom is related to her by marriage?
Yeah, a lot of people were pointing this out on Twitter yesterday.
He's her brother-in-law's nephew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot better than what I wrote down after Googling. Yeah, because I wrote down, you got there a lot quicker than Gavin Newsom's aunt was married to Ron Pelosi, the brother-in-law of Nancy.
Okay. Yeah, I think brother-in-law's nephew works a little better than that.
A little smoother. But yeah, I mean, poor Nancy Pelosi. She can't even readily say the name of a relative that is also the governor of the state she's resided in forever.
The governor of my state.
I mean, I'm not even related to Greg Abbott. and the name just kind of flows off the tongue. I don't understand the problem here.
Yeah, it's not that tough.
No.
It's really not that hard. Also, we got this fun meme in from, let's see, Dumb something or other.
Oh, Dumb Turtle Straw? Something like that?
It is Dumb Turtle Straw.
Okay.
Yeah. It boggles my mind to know people can't see the true impact of our situation. We're talking about the coronavirus deaths and the unemployment and the tip of the iceberg. Because what else is going to come of this? Mm-hmm. Of this complete shutdown of the world economy? You're going to have unemployment. We already do. Then you're going to have heart failure, famine from the food supply drying up, death by disease because we can't get medications, suicides, death of children, addiction, violence. I mean,
Amber's about to get violent on Jeffy just from the lockdown itself. Mm-hmm. I mean, right there, we got up close and personal. Yeah, there's so much just below the surface that's ready to pop if we can't get back online here.
From Jeffy's Shady Shoes, got another political cartoon here. A couple of
the Grim Reapers, yeah, look
Grim Reapers. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, COVID-19 standing there, and he's looking all tough, and then you got poverty saying, "Oh yeah,
you ain't seen nothing yet.
Just you wait,
baby, you ain't seen nothing yet." And
that's the Grim Reaper sings.
Yeah, probably big BTO fan. I bet.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. That needs to be done. I need to see a video of the Grim Reaper singing.
Somebody will provide
Bachman
that.
Turner Overdrive.
You know they will. Also, someone named Talia tweeted this out from their local Costco in the West.
This is not good. Look at this.
Look at this Costco. Effective 5/4/20. All members, guests, employees must wear face coverings. Members without face coverings will not be permitted inside the warehouse. We appreciate your cooperation.
Nope. I will not comply. I will be taking my business elsewhere. Maybe Sam's?
That's interesting. I wonder if that's company-wide, or is that just in one specific location?
I don't know, but Putin on a Ritz, who lives in Helena, Montana, your old stomping grounds, I assume he called the Helena location, but he tweeted out that he called Costco, and they told him that applies to members outside pumping gas as well. I don't know if he called Helena. I'm assuming he did. Are you kidding me? If this is a nationwide thing and not just in hot spots,
it's crazy.
We got a problem.
That's nuts. Another little side effect from our entire shutdown is the potential of the food shortages that are cropping up now and becoming more and more possible. Got a rancher that is talking about the upcoming beef shortage. Now, if this doesn't chill you to the bone, I don't know what will. This terrifies me. Listen to this.
Hey, everybody. This is Shad Sullivan coming to you from the headwaters of Bitter Creek, Archer County, North Texas. We have to talk.
Okay.
State officials will be assisting to help identify potential alternative markets if a producer is unable to move animals, and if necessary, advise and assist on depopulation and disposal methods. Ladies and gentlemen, we are plowing under vegetable crops from coast to coast. We are euthanizing millions of chickens. We are aborting sows and burying feeder pigs. We are dumping milk by the hundreds of thousands of gallons, and now they are preparing us to depopulate the fat cattle ready to harvest because of a bottleneck created by the effects of COVID. This thing hasn't been created by COVID, but the effects of COVID and the logistics therein. We are in trouble. Our food supply is in trouble, and I am appealing to producers and consumers across the nation to start calling. Yesterday, the first shipment of imported beef from the country of Namibia hit the shores of the United States of America.
What?
And yet this morning they are telling us to prepare to euthanize harvest-ready cattle.
Oh my gosh. Namibia?
Am I the only one that sees a problem in this?
No.
It is
No, you're
time
not.
we get the American people back to work. It is time we get money flowing. It is time we get food on the shelves. Because if you're not concerned about this food supply problem, you better be.
Wow. There's another part to this. We'll get to it in just a second. First, let me tell you about Rough Greens. If you weren't aware, the dog food that's on the shelf of the grocery store has been sterilized because it's got to be able to sit there on the grocery store shelf for up to 3 years. So in the sterilization process, all the good live stuff that's in the dog's food is all burned out of it, just cooked right out. So you lose all the probiotics, the enzymes and vitamins and the healthy microbacteria. It's dead food. That's why Rough Greens VitaSmart is so great. First of all, it's not dog food. It's a healthy supplement. You just sprinkle it on top, mix it in. Your dog will love it. Mine certainly does. And then it puts back into your dog's food all the live nutrients they need to be really healthy and active. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge today, just $14.95, and you'll see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive again, just go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
Pat Gray.
All right, so we got this Texas rancher telling us about the upcoming beef shortage, which is chilling, and he had more to say about it.
I've said all along sustainability is a fraud. And right now, we're being forced to destroy our harvests. That doesn't sound like sustainability to me. But it is part of the overall goal to vertically integrate your food system. You see, they cannot have control of the people unless they have control of the food, the water, the land, production. It is time we get back to work. It is time the American people force the government to listen to us. We are of, by, and for the people. This is not Nancy Pelosi's country. This is not Donald Trump's country. This is your country, and you're going to go hungry. We must get regional and local packing houses up and going. Do we have to have those big packing plants? You bet we do, and they need to be running right now. We need help. You as a consumer are in trouble. My dad told me years ago the best thing that would happen to America is if everybody had to sit in the dark, cold, and hungry, and that would wake them up. Well, I think it's coming. We're in a dangerous position, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get inspectors into these small plants. We need to get better inspectors. We need to get going on this today, not tomorrow, today. You need to be calling your legislators. We need to be opening up the country. Your food supply is in danger. Ranchers are going broke every day. We're doing all we can to stay here. We are in crisis in America. This is a crisis. This is a national crisis. And everybody's just sitting back enjoying their time off, enjoying that $1,200. Not knowing that overnight you're going to go hungry. It's coming.
Jeez. That's frightening. From a guy who's, in it. He's in the food supply chain. He understands. Fortunately, we have a president who I think understands the situation as well. He's trying desperately to get us back to work. And yesterday, he declared the meat supply critical. And so he wants plants to reopen and stay open. He's ordering them to keep going, to continue to function, to continue to stay open. It is critical infrastructure. The action comes as meat plants around the world or around the country have turned into coronavirus hotspots. Thousands of workers have been sick after the head of Tyson Foods, one of the country's largest processors, warned that millions of pounds of meat would simply disappear from the supply chain. So in the executive order issued late yesterday, he said recent closures of meat processing facilities, quote, threaten the continued functioning of the national meat and poultry supply chain, undermining critical infrastructure during the national emergency, unquote. President said his administration would take all appropriate action to ensure that meat and poultry processors continue operations consistent with federal health and workplace safety guidance. So, like the rancher said, get inspectors in there. Get better inspectors. Make sure it's safe, but let's keep it going. And stop culling chickens and cattle.
Yeah. This is that Defense Production Act, you know?
Yeah.
This is
right.
I don't know how I feel about this. I want these plants to be open, but I don't know that I want a signature on a piece of paper from one individual.
I know.
Making it so.
I know, but I also don't want Americans to starve to death. So what do you do?
I mean, this is
what do you do?
This is the hypothetical times. We're no longer having hypothetical discussions.
It's not hypothetical anymore.
This is real life.
Actual situation that we're trying to deal with now and trying to head off at the pass. Because, yeah, this COVID thing is the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the water, just barely under the surface, are all the other problems like food shortages and famine. Famine that we haven't spent 7 years preparing for, like in the Bible in Egypt.
Right.
When Joseph was in charge. He spent 7 years preparing for that famine. We haven't spent 7 minutes on it. We just believe that the supply chain is always going to function. It'll never be broken. Don't worry about it. We've got a great food supply, and we do. But when you throw a monkey wrench into that supply chain and you cut it off, we starve pretty quickly.
And at the same time, you've got like a pathead Matt up in the Pacific Northwest saying how you're allowed to boat right now, but not fish. So I can't even go after my own food if I want to? Are you kidding me?
Absolutely bizarre. None of this makes any sense. And then when you mention it, you get pulled off of YouTube.
Right.
You get shut down. They step on you so hard and so fast. Why? You just want people to die? No, that's what we're trying to prevent.
Please don't be short-sighted, right? A little sign of hope there. I think Orange County, California, yesterday voted unanimously. Their county commission or whatever, 5-0. We're opening things up. I mean, that's Orange County, California.
Good.
So
one of the few conservative areas of California, probably. But that's great. I mean, anybody saying that California should reopen, that's a good sign. It's a good sign. Because too many people are just going along with this. Oh, we can't possibly do this now because what if somebody else gets the virus? We can't possibly. Let's just stay and hide in our homes. No, we can't be doing this anymore. We can't be doing it. Now, was all this was all planned for, of course, last fall in October. And Glenn presented this last week, and I wanted to share this pretty much every day, and we just haven't gotten to it. This Event 201 situation that is not a conspiracy theory, even though that's what people will say and probably pull it down off of YouTube.
Yeah.
If you Google Event 21, you can find this information for yourself. You can find their website where all these leaders and planners got together and started talking about the great pandemic that was coming. Take a look at this and, see what you think about it.
Countries are reacting in different ways as to how best to manage the overwhelming amounts of dis and misinformation circulating over the internet.
Pause it for just a second.
In some cases,
so what they're doing is like a hypothetical situation. Let's work through this hypothetical situation of a massive pandemic that is hitting the planet, and our reaction to it. What will it be? And so they've created these fake newscasts and things. And then people get together in sort of study groups and discuss it. All right, go ahead.
Limited internet shutdowns are being implemented to quell panic.
Misinformation is undercutting efforts to control the pandemic.
And by whom? And how can false information be effectively challenged? And what if that false information is coming from companies or from governments.
I think it's very important that we make sure that there is concise communication with all healthcare facilities where these patients are being treated so that there isn't mass panic.
We're at a moment where the social media platforms have to step forward and recognize the moment to assert that they're a technology platform and not a broadcaster is over. They, in fact, have to be a participant in broadcasting accurate information and partnering with the scientific and health communities to counterweight, if not flood the zone of accurate information, because to try to put the genie back in the bottle of the misinformation and disinformation is nigh impossible.
One thing we haven't spoken about.
So they're telling us here, you can't allow misinformation. Well, misinformation as determined by whom? You? You're the person that gets to decide if it's misinformation? From these two doctors in California who have treated thousands and thousands of patients who have had COVID-19 and given tests to over 5,200 patients. And they say, look, we need to get back to work. We're doing ourselves a massive disservice by hiding from each other. Oh, that's misinformation. We're going to take that down. So what we need to do is instead flood the market with the information we want.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening right now.
Exactly what's happening.
All right, let's see the rest of this.
I'm wondering whether it's time to talk about this is a step up from the part of the governments on enforcement actions against fake news.
I personally do not believe that trying to shut things down in terms of information is either practical or desirable.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And we do have, I think, a couple of strategies that are available to us, one of which is the flood strategy, second of which is relying and informing and equipping trusted sources of information with the facts so they can then pass that on. But we also need to actually think about a technological answer to this.
Scenario epilogue.
The outcome of the CAPS pandemic in Event 201 was catastrophic. 65 million people died in the first 18 months. The outbreak was small at first and initially seemed controllable, but then it started spreading in densely crowded and impoverished neighborhoods of megacities. From that point on, the spread of the disease was explosive. Within 6 months, cases were occurring in nearly every country. The global economy was in a free fall. The GDP down 11%. Stock markets around the world plummeted between 20 and 40% and headed into a downward cycle of fear and low expectation. Businesses were not borrowing, banks were not lending. Everyone was just hoping to hunker down and weather the storm. Economists say the economic turmoil caused by such a pandemic will last for years, perhaps a decade. The societal impacts, the loss of faith in government, the distrust of news, and the breakdown of social cohesion could last even longer. We have to ask, did this need to be so bad? Are there things we could have done in the 5 to 10 years leading up to the pandemic that would have lessened the catastrophic consequences? We believe the answer is yes. So, are we, as a global community, now finally ready to do the hard work needed to prepare for the next pandemic?
And what is that hard work that you're going to do to prepare for the next pandemic? Are you going to encourage all Americans to have a food supply, to have cash on hand? What are you going to do? Or are you going to insist that government is the answer? And that they must be obedient when a pandemic strikes, and that you've got these plans to flood markets with your information and shut down anybody else's information. If you want to look into this, you certainly can. Just again, it's Event 201. It happened, I believe, last October or November. It was last spring, even before we knew about the pandemic in China. So, are we saying that they planned this? No. But we're saying they were planning for something like this and trying to figure out their strategy in advance. It's kind of fascinating when you watch this entire event and check out the information on their website. 888-900-3393. We're going to chew the fat with Jeffy next.
Pat Gray. The Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. 888-933-93. Edit Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Keystone Pig tweets, I have a sneaking suspicion that should Joe Biden's VP win the election, let's face it, that's who's being elected, the economy will magically open up. But any fallout from the virus will be blamed on Trump. Absolutely. It already is.
Oh, yeah.
From B to Bodine. I've got a groundhog in my neighborhood that's been raiding my garden for years. I might have to harvest that little rascal and see how he tastes if worse comes to worse.
I really hope we don't get to groundhog meat.
Lone Wolf tweets, why take down the doctor's video? Because the herd mentality doesn't want you to learn about the herd immunity. From the Pickled Squirrel, apparently only deaths from this stupid virus are worthy of mention. If you die of a heart attack, stroke, car accident, etc. Yeah, the heck with you. It's true. I mean, they don't care. If you're dead, you're dead, right? No matter what killed you. And suddenly we don't care about any other kind of death. Yeah, you could starve to death after this virus thing is over. We don't care about that. We just don't care. Jeffy's 18 spoons tweets, there are no words to describe the level of hopelessness and embarrassment on Amber's face listening to Jeffy sing in that video. Help is on the way, Amber. And with that,
I think that may have been what prompted Governor Greg Abbott to release the restrictions.
Yes.
Just when he saw that hostage video.
He saw the despair on the face of your wife when you're singing Top of the World by the Carpenters. And he's like, okay, we got to get people back to work. We got to get that guy out of the house.
Poor woman.
Jeez. All right.
Song.
Okay, well, welcome, Jeffy, and time for Chewing the Fat.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I want to be sure I'm clear of what you said. I want to make sure you're clear. But if you're dead, you're dead.
You're
Is
dead.
that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. No matter what killed you, you're still dead.
All right.
Yeah, you don't feel any better if you died of a gunshot wound than if you died of COVID-19.
Okay.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So good. Day 48 from the CQB. I'm there, baby. It is time. I think we are getting close to time to having to break out of the bunker. No question. There is a few things still happening around the world. A good question, or at least something to think about that we can look forward to having it be answered very soon. How many bands right now are already incorporating shooting up disinfectant into the lyrics of their next song? So you can be sure to hear them very soon. You can count on that. And I think we're safe. I think we're good to go. We had an asteroid zip by the Earth about an hour and a half ago. It was the asteroid 52768, 1998 OR2.
That's a catchy name, man. That is a catchy name.
Wait, what are we looking at on the screen there, Jeffy? Any idea?
This is a picture of the asteroid.
The actual one that you're talking about?
Yeah. And they're saying that, it looked like a mask. The scientist posted a picture of himself in front of the computer with the asteroid going by. And it looks like we're personally, I would say that it looks like something else.
Something else, right? That's what I'm seeing. Something else.
Just me. It's not really someone wearing a mask.
No, it is not.
It was, it missed us by, within the potentially hazardous asteroid area. That's what it was designated. So if it's 500 feet across and projected to come within 4.6 million miles of Earth, it's potentially hazardous asteroid.
How many miles?
4.6 million.
How close?
500 feet across.
How close did this one come?
This one came 4 million.
It was 4 million? Well, away from it? Wow.
Woo.
That's like a close shave. Right? Yeah.
We did have one that came really close last week, right? I mean, last week was like 1 million miles.
Wow.
It was a lot smaller than this one, but it was real close. I mean, we're starting to see an uptick in asteroids. It kind of feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of feel the uptick is there. So just be on the lookout.
Okay.
I have a feeling.
On the lookout. It won't help as much, but I'll watch for it.
No, because, I believe if you're dead, you're dead.
Yes.
So
yes. If you're killed by an asteroid, it's no better or worse than if you're killed by COVID-19. You're still dead. You're dead either way. Although I will say the asteroid, you probably don't experience a whole lot of pain. With COVID, I think you do. So it might be better to be hit by the asteroid, frankly.
Very well could be,
Yeah.
yes. Travel is, we talked a little bit actually last week of how bad travel was. Now the credit card Discover, their holders have spent 99% less on travel this past month. I mean, no travel. Right?
That's not 100% though, right?
And it's not 100%. And Amex travel card, 95%.
Oh my gosh, that's unreal.
The Boeing CEO
Wow.
said air travel probably would take 2 to 3 years to recover. We'll see. I think Monday's TSA checkpoint numbers a year ago, almost 2.5 million. This past Monday, 119,854 people.
That's less, right? Am I right?
That
that's
is a tad less.
I mean, get ready for your government-owned airlines.
It's still within that potentially hazardous asteroid number.
Gosh, that's amazing.
I know.
That's catastrophic. Is
It
what
sure
that is.
It sure is, man. Bad. After the coronavirus lockdown, though, places are going to want you to come and visit, like Sicily, they're saying that, hey, we're going to pay half the price of your flight to come to Sicily. We'll pay a 1 in every 3 hotel night.
Okay.
And we'll give you all the tickets to the museums and the archaeological sites. Just come to Sicily.
You could pay me $1,000 to go to Sicily and make the whole rest of the thing free. I don't think I'm going to Sicily right now. I'm just not doing it. Are you? There's a couple of places on Earth that I just don't want to go right now. One is Wuhan, China, or anywhere in China. And the other is Sicily in Italy. No, thank you. No.
I know. It doesn't feel like the place to go.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It feels like, what? We're good. Go ahead and stay there. It's fine.
Yeah.
And another place that was really bad is Spain. And under Spain's, extreme, and they're calling it extreme in the story even, stay-at-home orders, residents were not even allowed to go out and walk or jog, and pet owners were able to take their animals out for a brief stroll. And I'm not sure how long brief stroll was, but at least you were able to go outside. So it was reported last week that the National Police posted a photo on their Twitter account showing that they had issued a citation for a man who was caught walking his pet fish. And they were angry that they didn't want others to be tempted to use the tactic. I thought, hey, how about nice job?
Yeah.
How's the fish holding up?
Hey, that's really creative. Nice nice
no
way to get
problem.
out.
How about
No, they don't have a sense of humor about this stuff.
No, they do.
They really don't.
I will say the Spanish police, though, I mean, masks and gloves.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., you see masks, not a lot of gloves.
And sometimes not even the masks. We saw some video of them arresting a woman who was, I don't know, was she doing a park thing?
Idaho.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them didn't have a mask on at all.
Yeah, and the same thing in Britain where that guy was in his apartment. Right?
Yeah.
He came in.
Yep.
And no gloves. Same with the TSA. I know Chris Cruz just went through the TSA. I mean, there's only 119,000 people across the whole United States traveling, but they all had masks on but no gloves. They were only putting gloves on when they had to give you a probe, and I don't think they're probing anyone. I think they're just
they don't want to touch anybody right now. Okay, if you got a bomb, you got a bomb. I'm not going to touch you.
It's almost my break time. Just keep going. Whatever.
Oh, it's Tony Romo? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
And they're saying that in Belgium, I wish it would happen here. The potato farmers are begging people, hey, we got this huge surplus of spuds. Please eat fries at least twice a week. And
I'm good with that. I can do that.
Yeah.
Me too. I'd be good if they'd say, hey, I'll tell you what, buy one, get one free. How about that? Give me an order of fries. Every time I order an order of fries, I get another one.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
They're talking about 750,000 tons of potatoes are at risk of being thrown away. And that's just in Belgium. I mean, that's frightening. And you played the guy from Texas talking about the cattle and the meat, and we have, our meat shortages pop up. I mean, we're at a dangerous place.
Why would you destroy crops and meat and any kind of food rather than produce it and send it directly to homeless shelters?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen these
a lot
food
of places
lines.
are.
We've seen the people.
Right.
But there's only so much, right? I mean, seriously, the vegetable farmers in Florida were talking about they gave away as much as they could before they destroyed it. They've got these contracts with all these hotels and restaurants that aren't, being fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, and then they send to the homeless shelters and the any place that'll take it, but there's still an excess surplus of all this food. You have to, it rots, so you either bury it or burn it or you have to. It's frightening.
Yeah, it is.
It's frightening. With the lockdown, I'm sorry, shelter in place, some are apparently spending their $1,200 on a little real stimulation. People are splurging on adult entertainment. Since April 13th, all right, a cams.com website has seen a 22% overall uptick in traffic and 40% in some states, 40% in some states. Washington State jumped 204%. Illinois jumped 83%. California jumped 43%, but it hasn't gone up everywhere. And when you think about where would it go down? Oh, wait, our political leaders are not in town. Washington, D.C. traffic is down by almost 30%.
That's fascinating, isn't it? That's fascinating.
Sure.
That's good stuff, man.
Speaking of exploding, though, the video game sales did that thing last month. Spending on video game hardware, software, accessories, 35%. They were over a $1.6 billion increase. So they were starting to have a little, they were in a 7-month decline. Not anymore. I mean, Nintendo Switch sales more than doubled. 9 of the top 10 best-selling games generated more sales than all of them did last year. Just incredible. I mean, wow. Now, it's the same thing, though, right? When it starts to open up again, this stuff goes away, right? So I don't know how much more it lasts.
Did you see that the release of Trolls, the new Trolls movie, in 5 weeks of digital release at home, because the theaters weren't open, and so they released it at home. It made more money than the entire run of the first Trolls movie. Isn't that something?
It does. It makes sense.
So this just might, they're saying that this could rearrange really the way Hollywood does business.
I hope so.
I kind of do too. I'd love to see these things go directly to video a lot. I'd love that. That'd be great.
Me too. And I have, if you listen to Chewing the Fat, that's a podcast, my podcast, which you can subscribe to. It's still free today, but very important for you to subscribe. I can't promise you it's going to be free tomorrow.
I can promise you. I promise you it'll be free tomorrow. I promise.
You don't know that.
That's a bold statement there.
I'm sorry, my friend. You don't know that.
Okay.
Don't lie to the people. There's a good bet.
It is. It's a very good bet that I would take. All my money is I'm all in on free tomorrow.
But I've laid out a plan, because the theater you still want to have the theaters, right? That's why you have the theater mafia. That's what's kept the movies going to the theaters forever, right? So if they just say, hey, no more theaters, so it's a lot of business, a lot of people. We're finding that out now, right? Even they're saying we can open back up, and most of the theaters are like, ooh, not so fast. We can't even, at 25%, we can't afford to open up. It costs us too much money, so just stay home.
Right.
But
plus, what are they going to show? There's no movies being released right now.
Well, right, the same movies that were out, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I'm not going to see some old movie that's been, just sitting there rotting for 6 weeks. I'm not going to watch that.
I'd take the mold off of this thing, would you?
In your COVID-riddled seats? No, thank you. It's going to... the theater business is kind of in trouble.
I know.
Right? Because...
Yes.
How does this work for them?
I don't know. I seriously, I don't know. They before the lockdown, a couple of weeks, the 2 weeks before everything got shut down, but no one was going to, restaurants and movies. And I say no one, the majority of people were not going.
Yeah.
They were begging. I mean, all the theaters that I had gone to in the past were sending me emails saying, hey, we're still open. We're hosing everything down between movies.
Yeah.
We're keeping it clean. Please come, please come, please come. So I don't know how they survive. I don't.
Yeah.
I hope they, I hope that they find a way, but I don't know how.
But Cinemark and AMC and all those have said it's not worth it to reopen at 25% capacity.
They were talking about, not so fast. We can't do it right away.
Yeah. Also,
restaurants doing the same thing.
I don't think they'd have 25% capacity right now. It'd be less than that, right? No, but nobody's going to go because again, there's no new movies out. There's nothing big that's going to draw them to the movie theater and have them take a chance on being outside in a public place when there's no reason to. Why would you do that? Yeah.
And Mike Tyson, one of the one-time baddest man on the planet, according to World Boxing News, planning on having a comeback after 15 years absence.
What? No.
He's been hitting the mitts for the last week.
In his 50s? What is he, 56?
Going to the gym, getting in shape.
Okay.
He said he wants to box, and as the comeback, that's he wants to box 3 or 4 round exhibitions.
Okay, he knows the Rocky movies are fictional, right?
But he said he wants to make money. His line: help homeless and drug affected mother like me. And he talked about what kind of fitness he's doing. And it almost, I thought he was just talking about me. It was like a mirror. He said he's doing 2 hours of cardio.
Yeah.
He does the bike and the treadmill for an hour. He does some light weight, 300 to 250 reps.
And that's your routine.
Right. And the only thing that he's doing that I'm not is getting in the boxing ring and working out for 25 or 30 minutes. So, I mean, maybe I need to start doing that. Possible. Start doing that.
You start on that.
Okay.
And my favorite Mike Tyson quote, though, is even an ordinary person could take a punch from me if they had a willingness to die. So I don't want to get hit by Mike.
No.
At any age, right? Yeah.
No, we saw him doing all he was doing was kind of shadow boxing in that bar. Remember that? And that looked dangerous, man. I
know.
I don't want to get in front of that. No.
I mean, I am more terrified of his right hook than hedge trimmers, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy's lethal. All right. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up in just a few minutes. 888-933-93 if you want to get involved, or at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. 888-933-93 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Jeffy, were you a Kenny Rogers fan? You like country music, don't you?
Yeah, I enjoyed Kenny.
I don't think we even mentioned last week that he died.
Yeah, that he passed away. Yeah, very sad.
Yeah, dying and passing away is the same thing. I don't know if you're aware of that, but yeah.
I know. Well, we've already decided if you're dead, you're dead.
You're dead. You're gone. And it wasn't COVID-19, so nobody cared. Nobody said anything about it. He just died of natural causes, so don't worry about it. But we lost him.
Yeah, we did. Dolly Parton had a really heartfelt, heart remembrance of him, and that brought up the old rumors of them having an affair over the years and everything, which they claim they didn't. They were just really good friends. Yeah,
very close personal friends.
Yeah,
very, very close.
What are you
can't get much closer than that?
Are you doubting their story?
I would never doubt their story. No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
I mean, why would you doubt music stars? You would never.
Right?
Who am I to cast aspersions on their morality? No way.
Exactly. Especially during this time of international trial. I mean, we are all in this together, as the celebrities have told us. We don't doubt them and their word.
Thank you. That's right. I also noticed that Bill Withers died. Another, star from the 70s. Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone.
Yeah, iconic.
That's sad.
He passed away.
I didn't even, the died and passing away is, again, the same thing. So, yeah.
Have we fact-checked that for sure?
You can look it up if you want. But I'll tell you this. If you believe in forever, then life is just a one-night stand.
Oh.
If there's a rock and roll heaven, you know they've got a hell of a band.
Oh,
that's all I can tell you right now. That's all I can tell you.
Beautiful.
I mean, you got Kenny Rogers and Bill Withers just in the last few weeks. Not to mention Tom Petty last year. Of course, and then all the other dead stars that there have been. They got a pretty good band. Elvis.
Yeah, don't be messing with Elvis. One of the saddest pictures I saw was that got Vegas shut down, and a picture of an Elvis impersonator in front of one of the Vegas sign, "Welcome to Vegas" signs, just drinking, sad. Nobody's.
Well, that seems pretty accurate.
Ever, I know, very sad.
That's a circa 1977 Elvis look we were going with there, right?
Open this back up, man.
Well, the mayor of Las Vegas, who was saying, "Hey, we need to get the casinos open again," just got her head kicked in for saying that. I mean, people just came down on her like a ton of bricks.
They sure did.
I mean,
she
looks like she was sorry, I want our economy to get going again. Sorry, I want people to be employed again. Sorry.
I didn't see the video. It was pulled from YouTube. So what did she say again?
Well, I can't say it again or we'll be pulled from YouTube as well.
All right.
Got some tweets here from George A. Crocker. The real question is, are we being locked down or locked up? Continuing that discussion.
Yes.
The up or down thing. The Steve 42. You know who didn't die of coronavirus? Jeffrey Epstein.
Boom.
Booyah. From Preston. At this point, do we really care if we get hit by an asteroid? The answer is almost no.
Bring it.
Very, very close.
Bring it.
No. I guess the president couldn't resist doing the briefings. He just has to do them. He must. It is just part of his DNA, and it's back on again, I guess. I guess the briefings are back on. So they were off as of Sunday, I believe it was. He only did a 19-minute briefing on Saturday. Then there was nothing on Sunday, and then they're back on Monday because he just has to have that. He has to have that back and forth in his life. I really believe that.
Yes,
he's got to argue with people. He's got to fight for his policies and his sensibilities and his opinions, and he loves it. He loves it.
As long as it's going to upset anyone on the left, he'll continue to do it.
Yes, he will. Yeah, he
if
really
they
will.
were to say, "Oh, we love it, we can't wait. I wish you'd do 8 hours a day," he'd go, "Nah, we're done."
Yeah, that's true. But he's also a little pissed off about Fox again, and he's telling people Fox is screwed up. Although Fox got some credit from Angelo Carusone, the president of Media Matters for America, who said Fox News is making very strategic and smart choices, trying not to elicit a blowback from the Fox audience while simultaneously making it clear they have some degree of standards. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Thank you for the credibility comment from Media Matters, which has less credibility than, I don't know, the Tooth Fairy talking about brain surgery. That's about the kind of credibility Media Matters has.
And they took cash from the bailout, too, by the way.
Yes, they did.
Media Matters, yeah.
Yes, they did. Also, the Los Angeles Lakers got cash. And I guess they returned it, right?
I don't know. Did they return it?
That's what they said. Yeah, they said they returned it.
They did,
Oh, okay. Because they got $4.6 million because they qualified because they have less than 500 employees. Wonk, wonk.
Well, they're only worth $3.7 billion.
Right. I mean,
they're probably really struggling right now.
Yes.
Just $3.7 billion. How do you get by on that? I don't know.
So many of these companies, such as the Lakers, if they did, I guess you said they gave the money back.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to fly under the radar. Nobody check these records. Nobody find out who got the money. Maybe we can get fly under the radar here. No.
No, you can't.
Same with Harvard and whatever else.
Harvard got, what was it? Was it $10 million? Harvard got? And they were going to keep it originally.
Mm-hmm.
Then the president kind of shamed them. And so I think they wound up eventually giving it back. But they...
$8.7 million.
8.7, okay. They only have an endowment of $41 billion.
Right.
The largest endowment of any university anywhere in the world. So they struggle too, and that $10 million would have come in really handy.
I mean, they're getting
really handy.
They're starting to look under the sofa cushion seats there at the common area at the college there to try to make it through.
Yeah, because I mean, how are they gonna make ends meet?
Yeah.
It was talked about a couple of years ago. They've got a big enough endowment where they could use their progressive sensibilities and pay for everybody's college at full tuition for 25,000 students a year for 25 years.
What?
And still have money left over.
And that's at the ridiculous rate of going to Harvard.
Right.
Wow. I mean, this is what happens when the government just starts just printing money, passing it out to whoever needs it. Yep, or whoever files the paperwork. Terrible.
It's a crazy world. It really is. And we need some sports injected back into it.
Okay, cool.
And so apparently NASCAR is coming back May 17th.
Yeah, that's just a couple weeks, right?
Yes.
2.5 weeks.
Well, it's April 29th today. So, yeah, about 2.5 weeks-ish. They're going to have a race in South Carolina and North Carolina. Then they're going to make up some races in Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida.
So staying in the South.
Okay.
And they're kind of compressing this and putting some races on Wednesdays until they can catch up and then pick up the schedule.
So will they do Wednesday and the weekend?
Something like that.
Is that how that'll
so it'll
work?
be like yeah. So anyhow, I think the schedule's on the next page there.
I think I'm desperate enough to watch NASCAR.
Yeah?
Right now.
Yeah?
I think I'd watch a car driving fast and turning left.
Yeah. Did you ever catch any of the iRaces on through the internet or whatever?
I didn't. No.
Because one of the racers over the weekend, his I think 7-year-old daughter, Rob, is that right? Unplugged his computer or whatever
during the race.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's daughter unplugged it, so he finished last.
I bet he wasn't very happy about that. Yeah, whatever.
That's funny stuff.
Do they get money for that, or is that just for fun? Are they just doing it for fun, or is there cash involved?
I think there's just
Rob, do you know?
There was a charity thing, the first race.
Oh, really?
They're still being paid under their contract, so they're still getting paid one way or another.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right, well, good. Good. Also, the MLB, Major League Baseball, is apparently they're talking about starting the season in late June, playing in home stadiums.
Yeah.
With a realigned league. So they'd actually play in the stadiums.
Nah, that's written poorly. Nah, I think they would put...
they're going to play in stadiums in Arizona, Texas, and Florida still.
10
it's
teams
still
in
that
Arizona,
plan.
10 teams in Texas, 10 teams in Florida, the way they're talking about now. And I think they would details, I was trying to get an update. Details were scant last night, but I think those 10 teams will play each other, and then these, so you're not going to go beyond...
It'd be realigned.
Yeah.
But the playing in home stadiums, that's just a stupid headline because that's not accurate.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Yankees would play in their stadium, Cardinals would play in their stadium. But no, that's not what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's not true.
No. Other than that, it's a perfect headline.
Yeah.
Other than being completely false and inaccurate.
So I guess in Florida they'll play in Tampa and Miami, and then in Texas they'll play in Dallas and Houston, and then in Arizona they'll play in Phoenix and Phoenix. I mean,
I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. If you don't have the traditional rivalries in the traditional leagues, they shouldn't play at all. I'm a baseball purist, and if you can't keep everybody together where they're supposed to be, you shouldn't play at all.
Let me throw you a curveball.
Right.
Pun intended. We're going with the designated hitter with the National League teams playing American League teams. I mean, we're going to do that for everybody now since it's going to be mixed up. It's going to be American League teams playing National League teams.
No, I think all pitchers should go to bat.
That's definitive.
Pitchers should go to bat. Yeah.
I mean, it does add some strategy, right?
It does, yeah.
Oh, Jeffy, dissent. What?
No, you gotta have the pitch. You gotta have the designated hitter, right?
No, you don't have to.
Adds to offense. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
No, not if you're a baseball purist.
And
no.
these are the discussions we've missed.
We're not a baseball purist, though. I mean, we're gonna realign the whole thing.
No, I just said you can't do that. If you're gonna do that, don't play at all. For baseball purists.
Then we're not playing.
Then we're not playing.
No,
right.
no. I'll play. I don't care whatever rules. I don't care, man. What was it? 12 guys on the field. Let's just play.
Oh, I'm taking my aluminum bat and going home. That's it.
Also, NHL trying to jam their season in. There's still half the season left?
Nah, 6 weeks or so.
Okay.
And then they had Then they have the playoffs, another 6 weeks or so. So, you're looking at 6 plus 6.
You're looking at 12 weeks.
3 months left.
Or 3 months.
Or
half the season.
Math is hard, Pat.
So,
but what they're going to do now in order to do this is interesting. They're talking about just delaying next season's start time. So instead of starting in early October, they would now start in December with the 2020-2021 season.
And then play that whole thing.
Yeah. And that would...
What about when the virus comes back and we shut it all down again?
I
Then
don't
what
like
do you
it.
do?
I don't know that I ever said that out loud on the air, but I don't care for this.
You don't care for that?
Yeah, I don't want to hear this from you.
All right.
Stop.
I'm just trying to be real. Trying to keep it real all up in here.
Okay, Dr. Fauci.
Yo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the virus is going to come back again on us. And it's always going to be here. It's always going to be killing people. There's no hope. There's just no hope from this virus.
Doctor,
ever
I have a
again.
question.
We're going to shut down the economy and just keep it shut down forever.
Keith Malinak, Blaze TV.
Yes, Keith, go ahead.
Don't you have a sexiest man alive photo shoot that you're late for? Can you go take care of that?
No, they can do that while I'm doing the press conference here. I'm so sexy, I don't even have to dress up for it. People just think my total pessimism is sexy in and of itself.
That's a turn on right there, I'll tell you.
Big turn on, yeah. But yeah, there's going to be no relief from this COVID-19 thing ever. There's no hope of a virus, of a vaccine for the virus.
Okay.
There's no hope of ever escaping it.
I don't like you either. So
That's what I get from Fauci, though, pretty much.
I'm running out of people. Jeffy, I can't believe I'm down to you for someone to like right now. So help me.
Well, come on. You must
that up.
You must like Joe Biden. We're going to get to Joe and all the likable things about him coming up in just a minute here. But first, let me tell you about Genesis 950. This stuff is fantastic. If you haven't tried it yet, and you got stains from pets or kids or grandkids on your carpeting, and you're thinking, the only thing I could do is replace the carpeting at this point. First, try Genesis 950 with water. Genesis 950 breaks down the bonds of stains and odors, and they're gone for good. Its antibacterial component removes pet stains from carpeting and padding. You can use it on all kinds of things around the house. As a matter of fact, bathrooms, kitchens, countertops, granite, quartz, garage floors. If you've got some oil stains in the garage, try Genesis 950 on it. If you've tried all kinds of different pet cleaners and they just don't work like we did, you are going to love Genesis 950. It's not just, again, for pet stains. Use it all over your house. It's available on Amazon.com, but if you order a gallon direct at Genesis950.com, you'll receive a free spray bottle and get a discount, too, using the offer code BLAZE. That's Genesis950.com, offer code BLAZE. Well, it's hard to believe, but the Democrats have their man, and it's Joe Biden, who is, I don't know, completely out to lunch.
Ball of fire.
He's a ball of fire, all right. He every once in a while releases something from his basement in front of a bookcase there that doesn't make any sense. If I were him and if I were his people surrounding him, actually, I would be saying, Joe, just let it go, man. Just relax and don't say anything. Don't record anything. Don't release anything. Don't do any interviews. Don't do a single thing about this campaign. Just wait till November and let's hope the economy continues to tank. And then you win. That's all. You don't have to say a word because every word he says is garbled, really. He was talking about the economy and the way he put it is this way.
I would get much more engaged in the world. We can't step back. If, in fact, for example, we solve the problem in the United States of America and you don't solve it in other parts of the world, you know what's going to happen. You're going to have travel bans. You're going to not be able to have economic intercourse around the world. There's a lot.
Wait, what?
Look, when America goes alone, when America is first, it's America alone. And the idea that
what? When it's America first,
it's America alone.
It's America alone. What are you talking about?
Oh, he's going to be a great president, huh?
He's horrific. He's just awful.
Economic intercourse. Boy, that's a phrase.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, first of all,
I love it.
It's not like a lot of people use that phrase, but I don't know if you know this or not, Joe. Your name's been in the press lately for some pretty bad things. You might want to avoid that word altogether.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Oof.
Yeah.
The Tara Reid accusations have proven to be somewhat credible, as a matter of fact. And yet, the leading Democrats are all standing behind Biden, despite the sexual assault allegations. These hypocrites who were all over Brett Kavanaugh during his nomination process for the U.S. Supreme Court. There was no evidence that he had done what he was accused of. Nobody remembered it. Nobody saw it. Nobody backed it up. And it was 40 years before. And there was no evidence. This was about 27 years ago, so it's much more recent. And she has the backing of, in fact, one of her neighbors, who is, by the way, a Democrat who still plans on voting for Joe Biden.
It's weird.
And she backs it up and says that, yeah, she told me about it at the time.
Wow.
Her mother, who Tara Reid said called Larry King at some point to talk about it, about her situation with Joe Biden anonymously. And they couldn't find it at first. Well, they found it. And so you've got that part of her story backed up. There's a lot of evidence here, and despite the multiple people who back her story, the opposite of the Blasey Ford situation that nobody backed up, they were all over Brett Kavanaugh, and they don't have anything to do with this situation with Joe Biden. It's really amazing. These hypocrites.
Yes, it is.
They don't care about women. They don't care about sexual assault. They don't care about believing women. I mean, you talk about a double standard. It goes way beyond that as far as I'm concerned. Tara Reid has been blasting the media's silence. By the way, still, CNN, 0 stories on it.
Wow.
700 stories on the Kavanaugh situation when his nomination process was happening. 0 stories on Tara Reid.
Is that a daily count from CNN though? Because they covered it. I don't know, 0 times today. Yeah, I mean,
yes, they have.
Daily count.
They have covered it 0 times.
No, that's
today.
an accurate number too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very accurate.
Yeah, yeah. And Martin remembered the allegations in that book, that tell-all book about Biden that came out a few years ago, where he would make female Secret Service agents uncomfortable because he would swim naked. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that, too.
Oh, gosh, this guy. Here I am.
And he was a U.S. senator at the time. Even when he was being accused of what he was being accused of, Brett Kavanaugh was, 18 years old? And he was in college, and he, jumped on the bed with this woman, and then she pushed him off the bed. I don't remember all the details, but Joe Biden backed this woman up against the wall and started fondling her and other things. I mean, it was
digital penetration.
Yes, which is wow,
worse than fondling.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's some serious business going on.
And yet, everybody's behind him. Hillary Clinton is behind him as well. She's supporting him. She's endorsing him, and she did an interview where Joe Biden fell asleep listening to her babbling.
But we've also seen it when we look at the pictures of those people on the front lines. Do you know 80% of all health care workers in America are women? And 1 out of 3 jobs held by
or is he
women
praying?
in our
Please
country
make her shut up.
has been classified as essential.
Nope, she's asleep.
So this is an issue that affects all of us, young and old, every kind of background.
Oh, he woke up. Okay,
hey,
all right,
hey,
yeah.
Yep, whatever you say. Yes, ma'am.
That's weird.
That is.
Okay, that's weird.
I mean, let's be honest. None of us have any idea what she said either, because we're not listening to her.
No,
she's a woman.
And he could have been praying that maybe he was praying that she just played "Shut Up." It could have been that. I don't know for sure.
Please don't Please don't let me be on the death list. Please don't let me be on the
Oh, you will.
Let her
You
keep
pick her
talking.
as vice president, and you will, man. You will be.
There's
there
no
you go.
chance she's vice president. No chance at all.
No way.
No.
Boy, that's, I tell you, man, November's still a long way away. He's got a lot more of those moments that are even going to be worse than that coming up.
I can't wait to see him, frankly, because hopefully that secures the election for Donald Trump. Despite the economy, despite the virus, despite what's going on, and it's not Trump's fault anyway, even though everybody's trying to blame him for it. The more Joe is on video, the better it is.
Yes. Well said, yeah.
Yeah.
Hope he caught up on his sleep there, though.
Me too.
Because he's got a long campaign ahead.
And he's not even going anywhere right now.
You're right.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Is likely to kill you instantly. Yeah, you'd suffer for a long time before you died from the Nancy Pelosi thing. Series of tweets, actually, from Steve. When you say sports, NASCAR doesn't immediately come to mind.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
For me, too. That's me
boy.
Too. Yeah. Also, so we're gonna have food. We're not going to have food, but we can watch baseball.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Whatever. I'll starve to death as long as I'm in front of a baseball game.
And also from Steve, he's wondering, do cows have an expiration date? Why euthanize them? I'm pretty sure they'll be edible again next year. Yes! Hello! Yes! And real Tyler Morgan. I'm with Pat. Make the pitcher bat. The DH is lazy baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
By the way, the number of infections, over 1 million now in the United States of America. Over 1 million. But consider this. Do you know how many the pig flu had? What was that? The swine flu? The swine flu from pigs? You know how many were infected with that?
I think it was 18, if I'm not mistaken.
You are mistaken.
Oh, okay.
It was close to 18. It was 65 million. But,
Wow.
you know, who's counting? But who's counting? Nobody anymore.
No, but you are.
Somebody's counting.
That's incredible.
Some fun on Good Morning America, which nobody watches, so nobody knew this happened, except that there was a clip of it later on. I guess somebody must have found it. They had, like somebody's mom was watching and thought, oh, okay, I bet people would enjoy this. Christopher Reeve's son, Will, I guess he appears on GMA from time to time. Huh. He's a reporter of some sort.
Who knew?
And I didn't know. I didn't know Will Reeve was a reporter for GMA, but he is. And he was doing the report from his house, and he wasn't wearing pants.
Wait. UPS and UPS say initially the final leg of prescriptions journeys will be done by ground carriers, so people won't be getting their medication dropped out of the sky into their mailbox just yet. But the companies do say they will scale up the program if it is successful, guys.
Covered up by the banner. Oh,
very cool.
Pause right there. Pause. Okay, you can see his bare leg there. He's in shorts. He's got boxers on. He's in his boxers and a suit coat and, collared shirt. Not thinking. I guess he didn't
And those
realize.
are short shorts, man. He's wearing boxers.
They're boxers.
Big
Yeah,
time.
those are boxers.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, nice move there, Will.
That's par for the course when you're at the house.
Oh, is it? What are you wearing right now? Stand up and show us.
I don't think we want to see that.
Yeah, that's
I
didn't think that
I could move
request
the
through.
camera or whatever, but I mean, I always make sure that I'm wrapped in a towel when I come out because I take a shower. I come upstairs.
I don't think we want to hear about your hygiene habits.
What
I
was
really
it?
don't.
Well, I'm just saying, I always wrap myself in my Katy Perry towel.
Oh, there it is again. His Katy Perry towel.
My Katy Perry roar towel.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That's
Okay.
beautiful. Hold it still. Yeah, that's a good look.
That's great.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Does
on
it keep your bare legs warm while you're sitting there talking to us?
Towel wrapped around me, so I can move the camera.
No,
we're
that's
good.
okay.
No,
That's right.
keep it stationary. Lock it down.
I think we're fine. We're on lockdown as far as your camera is concerned. Okay, it's locked right in place, super solidly. All right, 888-900-3393. We got some representatives discussing COVID-19. Representative Marcia Fudge talking about governors opening up businesses. This is brilliant stuff. Here's what she had to say.
Let me just say really quickly about them opening things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they open the beauty salons and the barbershops and the bowling alleys and the movie theaters. When they start opening up the country clubs and the tanning spas, then I'm going to go to one. That's first. Because they just opening up things that black people go to because they know we've got these checks and they want us to spend them.
What?
They don't care about our safety. That's why when they start to open up things they go to, then I'll understand it's time for them to start to open up some things for us.
Oh, my gosh.
Please impeach her. Please get her out of office. I mean, that's asinine. That's brain dead nonsense. Okay, only blacks go to bowling alleys?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah. And when they...
I didn't know bowling was a big thing for black people. Did you? Did you know that?
When they start opening up country clubs, wow.
What a racist.
Totally
what an
racist.
absolute, unbelievable, hardcore, openly racist representative of the people. There you go. Thank you for that, Marcia. Thank you for showing us who you really are.
But there's a lot of steps to get to her point. Yeah, they're totally allowing barbershops to open because they want to kill black people. Where is she? Ohio?
And I guess
She's Ohio.
White people don't go to barbershops?
No, we don't get our haircut.
No.
Dude. Well, hold on. I'm a bad example.
We go to salons. I can't wait till my salon opens up. I'll tell you that. I need a perm really bad. Because only white people don't get haircuts. They get perms and they get their nails done. They get their the pedicures.
What kind of salon do you go to? Do you go to the Robert Kraft salon? Where do you go?
I don't do that all the time. But yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Hey, let me ask you both this: how do you even function when your country club's not open? How do you even? I don't know. I don't even know what to do without my country club.
Yeah, that reminds me. I forgot to make a tea time for tomorrow.
Are there still country clubs? Really?
Yes.
I guess so. I guess there are.
I've driven by country clubs. I don't think I've ever gone into one, frankly. I don't know that I've ever been to a country club.
I've worked at a country club. Does that count?
Yeah, well, no.
No,
not in her context. No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't. That is despicable. Just despicable garbage. Wow. And again, flat out racism. Just absolutely racist nonsense. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Employees are furious because their owner keeps paying them. They don't want their owner to pay them because they've been making more on unemployment.
Oh, there we go.
Small business owner in Washington State is describing how the federal government's increase in unemployment benefits for people who have lost their jobs is causing her to compete with unemployment. Jamie Black Lewis, who owns 2 spas, was thrilled after learning she had secured 2 small business loans through the Paycheck Protection Program to continue paying her employees, even though the businesses were closed.
How nice of her.
That's awesome, isn't it?
It's incredible. She's getting nothing for this, and she's paying that. Okay.
That is awesome. So she told CNBC that when she informed 35 employees in a virtual conference, she wants us to know that she actually didn't gather together with them because that's more than 10 people in one place. So she did this in a virtual conference. No, you cannot. She'd received loans of $177,000 and $43,800 for each spa to pay them. The news was not received as she expected it to be. It was a firestorm of hatred about the situation, she said. Said her employees were upset because they were due to receive unemployment benefits that would have paid them more than their job.
Yep. Yep. We were warned about this. Lindsey Graham, remember, right in the 11th hour, they were about to pass this thing. Lindsey Graham, Ben Sass, Tim Scott, and Rick Scott, the 4 of them got together in that little press conference room. They're like, we need to make changes to this, remember? And then Bernie's like, oh, no, you're going to pay him to not. You're going to pay him to not. Oh, like, that's the worst thing that could happen. And here we are. In fact, I know somebody who isn't working because they're getting more money taking unemployment right now. That's a conscious choice by them.
Yes, we do know somebody like that. Interesting. It's interesting, Ivan. Is there a number people can call and comment about that?
Yeah, it's the unemployment hotline number to make sure that next week's check clears as well.
This is crazy. So the $2 trillion CARES Act passed last month. included a provision that added an extra $600 a week to existing unemployment benefits. You think the added unemployment benefit to the CARES Act has created an incentive for some people to not work? Well, the answer is clearly yes.
Multiple people.
Black Lewis said some of her employees were among those who were set to be paid more for not working than for retaining their jobs. It's a windfall they see coming. In their mind, I took it away. I couldn't believe it. On what planet am I competing with unemployment?
And let's be clear, there are millions upon millions of Americans who are suffering at the loss of their job because of China's flu that made its way over here and has wreaked havoc on our economy. But what's going to happen is stories like this are going to continue to come out. It's going to harden the hearts of Americans, and they're going to look at people that are making unemployment checks, that are getting these unemployment checks as, well, you're just doing that because you want to make more money. No, that's the exception, not the rule. But it's definitely happening, and it's tragic. This is the same thing with the Lakers taking the money earlier in Harvard. When the government just starts passing out cash, doesn't care, and you get unintended consequences.
Yep. It's hard to compete with a money printing machine.
Yep.
It really is. It's quite difficult. Spend all you want. We'll just make more. We'll just like Fritos corn chips or was it Doritos? I don't know. Eat all you want. We'll make more. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I don't remember if it was who it was though.
Yep. How do you pay for it, Pat?
How do you pay for it? I get a kick out of people who ask, how do you pay for it?
Yeah.
You just do. You just do. I mean,
can I hear that phrase from the horse's mouth, so to speak? Is there a possibility I can hear that from her?
I'm not sure if I actually have that.
Oh no! No.
So
you get a kick out of people.
I get a kick out of people who say, "Hey, can I hear that AOC audio clip?"
Look at me, Rob. Put the camera on me. Okay, we're counting it.
What do you mean we're counting? We're counting what?
We're counting.
I don't even
AOC.
understand what that.
I don't either. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I'm just using some highlighter here. Just has nothing to do with what's going on over there.
Let me take a minute to tell you about Brickhouse Nutrition. Because unless you plan on self-isolating forever, you're going to eventually need to be around other people. And one of the best ways to avoid getting sick is a healthy immune system all year round, which is why you should be taking Field of Greens from Brickhouse Nutrition. Just one scoop of Field of Greens has a full serving of real USDA organic certified organic fruits and vegetables to boost your immune system and support a healthy immune system. It boosts your energy and supports a healthy immune system. So if you're out of shape and you don't eat healthy, like somebody you might know, your risk is higher. It's just as simple as that. Plus, a diet of fruits and vegetables can reduce your risk of heart disease, hypertension, stroke, even cancer. Field of Greens is also prebiotic, probiotic, but fortunately not postbiotic. We don't like postbiotics. And a great source of vitamins, fiber, and other nutrients. Just put a scoop in a glass of water, drink it down, and you stir it up, you're all set. Right now, save 15% off your first order when you use the offer code PAT at brickhousepat.com. If you subscribe while you're there, you'll save an extra 10% every single month. Turn your body into a brick house with Field of Greens at brickhousepat.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that. I'm sorry, we're watching the latest Flex Seal products commercial.
Here we are.
He's got something new.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Nice. Oh, homeless mouse.
He sealed the mouse right out of the hole in the house.
Didn't you give him a chance to go in there and get his stuff before he was kicked to the curb?
Darn.
Oh, poor mouse.
So he's not
I sawed this boat in half.
Sawing boats in half anymore. Oh, he's opening up a chicken coop, though, and letting chickens out.
No, what are you doing, man? Oh, I see.
Oh, he's gonna put a Flex Seal product on chicken wire.
It's Flex Spackle.
And use that on the boat.
He made a boat out of Flex Spackle. Is that what that's called? What's it called?
I don't know.
Tell me more. I'm standing by. What's the number?
That's crazy. That is nuts.
Gratuitous
And by the
picture
way,
of a chicken.
Again, somebody was telling me that this really works. This product really works. That was not our experience
No.
with it.
No.
That was not our experience.
It's called Flex
at all.
Paste, apparently. Flex Paste. Not a sponsor.
No, they aren't. Clearly not a sponsor. It probably never will be. Health experts from the Trump, Obama, and Bush administrations want the government to pay Americans $50 a day to self-isolate. Kind of like jury duty. So...
I can't. Make it stop, man. Come on.
I mean, can we get paid for anything else by the government here? Because this is just free money that just comes out of, I don't know, just falls out of the sky like manna.
Can I get paid $50 a day if I hit my 10,000 steps goal?
Yes. Yes, I think you can.
I get a bonus for getting to 20,000?
Yes, we'll give you another $100 for getting to 20,000 steps.
I'm walking now.
In a letter to Congress, bipartisan health experts who worked under Bush, Obama, and Trump recommend that the United States should invest $46.5 billion to ensure a safe reopening of the economy.
See how they try to make that sound like, see? Every administration, people that worked for every president, left and right, say it's a good thing, so you should too.
Right. Yeah. So this is conservative and it is liberal and it's bipartisan. Everybody likes this idea. Everybody does.
4 out of 5 dentists agree.
Right. Increased testing is necessary to determine whether things are stable, getting better, or getting worse, according to one of the doctors who signed the letter. And so they're encouraging us to stay in isolation, and they'll pay us $50 a day to do that. Oh, man. I mean, what's next? What's next? Well, the steps. I'll bet the steps, that would be a good way because then they can get us to exercise while we're in isolation, too, and then we'll be healthier when we come out of this thing. So if you do 10,000 steps a day, you get another $50.
So let's brainstorm.
You get $100 a day. Nice.
Send us some ideas on Twitter at Pat Unleashed.
Okay.
And tell us what are some ways that the government should be paying us right now. What can you do or not do, for that matter, to get paid? Because the printing press is just running.
How do I prove that I took the 10,000 steps? Do I just have that app on my phone?
Yes, and they'll track your phone.
Okay.
So
that's right. They know.
They know.
They know.
Like that's really funny, Jeffy. How will they know that? Yeah, they're watching.
I just want to be clear because my kids will be carrying my phone.
Oh yeah. Here's another tip. If they do start paying you for your steps, just a fun fact: if you have your phone in your pocket and you're on your riding mower, it will count those as steps. So just drive around the neighborhood on your riding mower. That's what mine does.
Does it really?
Every phone I've ever had, it's just like.
It thinks you're walking while you're riding.
Credit for riding.
Then what would it work in your car?
No, for some reason it doesn't. Yeah,
that's weird.
So I guess it thinks I'm just a really fast walker.
Yeah, because
but not that fast.
Okay, yes. When you're going 30 miles an hour, that's a little faster than you normally walk.
But if you drive really slowly, maybe it would. I think it's the vibration probably of the machine. Possibly fooling it. Okay. I don't know.
Also, China says, and they're right, that we can't dismiss America as coronavirus, as the origin of the coronavirus, until the U.S. proves otherwise. And they're right. When they got us, they got us. We're guilty until proven innocent.
They just keep pushing this.
And they just keep doing
theory,
it.
Man.
I mean, I can't believe this. A microbiologist at the Chinese Academy of Sciences implied the United States will remain a potential origin of the Chinese coronavirus until American officials prove otherwise.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you guys don't have to prove that you weren't the origin, right? That's just up to us. The alleged scientist, Shi Yi, claimed that American officials had not given any public response on the issue of a Chinese Communist Party conspiracy theory.
Okay.
That a U.S. Army laboratory in Maryland was the origin of the virus.
Well, then clearly, if we're not going to address this claim, then we're guilty, and it's just proving out.
China's offered not a single ounce of evidence on this claim, but she said he could not comment on it or the lack of evidence backing the theory until the United States engages in mutual corroboration of the abundant biological information and epidemiological evidence available.
I'm so confused by this story. She said or he said?
You know what?
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Please don't use gendered language to address everyone.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So he. Don't even start with me, Keith.
She is he.
She is
Wait,
he.
He is no. He is she.
Don't use gendered language to.
I mean, who wrote this hateful article with this gendered language? I mean, that was just
Breitbart. It's figures. Figures. Breitbart. Yep.
Got it.
And in other news out of China, he's still alive.
Yes.
Good news.
Yes, that is good news. Now, China also boycotted. Somebody was saying that they wanted to continue the investigation. What was the country that said it wasn't even us? Was it a European country? They were going to do. They were doing a deep dive into the origins, and China boycotted them because they didn't want any investigating into the origin of the virus.
Australia?
Yes, it was Australia.
Here's the headline. China
Yes.
bristles at Australia's call for investigation into coronavirus origin.
Yeah. Why do you bristle at that? Why is that a problem?
I mean, especially if
you think we did it.
It's going to lead Australia to America.
Right. It will lead them directly to that awful lab in Maryland that produced this thing in the first place.
Hey?
Jeez.
If you bristle at something, is that bad? I didn't
well,
know
it depends on what you're bristling at.
Are you excusing something shady, Jeffy?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what bristling is.
So that doesn't count?
That's all. No, it doesn't count.
So I'm going to put the highlighter away then.
All right. But here's how bad it is. 10% of Americans believe the U.S. government created the coronavirus.
What?
10%.
I mean,
1 in 10 Americans. That's unbelievable. I mean, how stupid can you be? Seriously. The study found a similar connection regarding social media use and belief in the false coronavirus stories. In total, 87% of 1,008 surveyed adults said that hand washing and social distancing were effective against the virus. 23% believed at the time of the survey that it was probably or definitely true that the virus came from a Chinese lab. 23%?
I was going to make fun of the only 87% thought washing your hands was a good idea. But then you get to the 23% say it came from China?
That's amazing. Another 21% thought vitamin C would offer immunity. 19% held the opinion that the virus was being over-exaggerated to hurt Trump. Okay, well, that's, I mean...
Only 19%?
That's, I mean, I'm part of that 19%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally, 10% felt it was probably or definitely true that the U.S. government created COVID-19.
I can't.
You know why that is? That's Democrats.
What?
Those are anti-Trump Democrats who are defending China at every turn.
Yeah, and the same people believe that we didn't go to the moon, too. So
I was wondering,
true.
What is that number? Do we remember?
We didn't go to the moon?
Yeah.
I think it's around 11 or 12%.
Yeah, it's
pretty high.
I mean, it's about the same, right? I mean, it's about 10%.
Yeah, it's close.
It always was.
Yeah, it's that, I don't know. You get 10% of every survey. I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess it's probably fair to say that 10% of Americans just default to conspiracy theories as their answer to everything.
Yes. And so I guess it shouldn't surprise us that much that 10% are believing that it came from the U.S. instead of China, when all the evidence points to the Chinese. Right. Only all of the evidence.
Jeffy, you hearing the xenophobe on this end?
Yeah. This is why China bristled at Australia.
Yep, there we go.
I bristle at you saying the word bristle. I don't know. It sounds dirty coming from you. Doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the word of the day. Bristle.
Sounds icky. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds icky from Jeffy.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.